We are here because for the first time for many years, British sovereign territory has been invaded by a foreign power. The government has now decided that a large task force will sail as soon as all preparations are complete. HMS Invincible will be in the lead and will leave port on Monday.
But even in this limited role, the Harrier quickly won the enthusiasm of its new RAF pilots.
We were attempting to steer, which fighters had not. So we were Boy Scouts.
Out at sea, it was a tense 40 minutes before the planes returned, with everybody watching, counting, wondering if they'd all make it back safely. They did.
This aircraft was brand new, untested in combat when it was sent to the Falklands. Unique in its ability to take off and land vertically and operate from short runways, the Harrier quickly proved it was versatile and extremely reliable.
Faster doesn't necessarily mean better in terms of fighting capability. We used to have an adage that the supersonic aeroplanes coming towards the fleet, well, that's fine because the quicker they got there, the quicker they'd die.
For our tactics of fighting against the enemy, we used a manoeuvre called the hook manoeuvre, which quite simply was sending one aircraft in from ahead, one aircraft from behind, and putting them in a problem. They're in a sandwich, almost like the army pincer movement. It's common sense, good strategy, good tactics, and it worked. On day one, we shot down the first two aircraft. We had 8 aeroplanes on board. We were asked to do at least half the night alert. I mean, sitting in the cockpit on deck with one aircraft ready to go, with one pilot in the crew room ready to go, fully dressed. And if you work it out mathematically, try and do that through the night with 11 pilots is what I had. It meant that you were basically awake all night, and then you were flying all day. And then you're doing the same thing the following night. We didn't really notice that it was hard at the time, but the stress was there. I mean, I'd have 5 minutes to myself in a day. And I was in tears of frustration a couple of times where things weren't going right.
Where the Harriers were taking off all the time. We had at least 4 Harriers in the air at all time, probably even more. As soon as we got down to the Falklands, we launched nearly every Harrier we had, and by the time they could come back onto the ship, they rolled them into another operation and they took off straight away without any hesitation. They just went off straight onto a different role.
We flew in 801 Squadron, I think it was 695 sorties, missions. We only missed one aircraft mission through unserviceability, which in any metering or any measurement in the modern world of aeroplanes or even racing cars, the same sort of thing, It's incredible, and which is why I love it so much.
On the 14th of June, during an RAF Harrier attack on Port Stanley, Argentinian forces surrendered. The Falklands War was over. The plane, which few would have chosen to depend upon in war, had proved itself. As a fighter, the Sea Harrier had shot down 23 Argentinian aircraft without losing a single plane in air combat. A further 9 Argentinian aircraft had been destroyed in ground attacks. In its unparalleled versatility as a fighting machine, the Harrier was now established as far more than jack of all trades. It was truly the master of them.
I think a lot of people were surprised at how well the Harrier performed down in the Falklands. They were surprised because they didn't know enough about the aeroplane. The people that knew it, the people that worked it, the people that engineered it, the people that flew it, they were relieved that it did what they thought it could do in war, when war came, but they weren't surprised.
I can remember saying years before the Falklands that if I ever had to go to war, then the aircraft I wanted to go to war with.
This is the untold story of the most daring bombing raid since the Dam Busters.
Almost a one-way ticket. I didn't really see how we could survive it.
The RAF's opening attack of the Falklands War, designed to strike terror into the hearts of the Argentinians. It was a secret, but very British mission.
Monty Python couldn't have done it any better.
The crew has never seen action before.
Gulp. Yes, it's us now.
I must admit, I didn't like the idea of doing it.
And all they have is an aging British bomber.
It had a computer. This was driven by wheels, pulleys, bits of bicycle chain.
To prepare, they learned techniques not used since World War II.
And a lot of the work was done on a £5 pocket calculator bought in Swaffham Market. But it all seemed to be going so well. What can possibly go wrong? And then it did.
It will be the longest bombing raid in history.
A month later, the first British troops arrived back home to jubilant celebrations. This victory had given people a renewed sense of pride in their country and a feeling that Britain could lift itself out of its recent decline.